Chicago Jewish Alliance, who also was one of the organizations that protested and criticized the University of Chicago for hosting me, had this to say about Miss Rachel, just so you understand, like, what Jewish advocacy groups are actually invested in and what their mania looks like, okay? Because when you think about it, you're like, oh, Chicago Jewish Alliance, like they're a Jewish advocacy group. They're probably normal people who care about anti-Semitism.
Love kids. Is that why you decided to speak out about what's happening in Gaza, specifically with children?
I think it should not say anything.
Did you also, like millions of other Americans, just seeing these horrific, tragic videos?
The idea that caring for a group of children in an emergency situation means you don't.
Oh my God, thank you for sending this to me. Isn't this the group that was shitting on me at University of Chicago? Chicago Jewish Alliance. Oh my God.
Care about other children is false.
Are Palestinian children less human than other children? Should we care less about them? I don't quite get where the controversy is coming from.
It's sad that people try to make it controversial when you speak out for children that are facing immeasurable suffering.
I'm sure you have a lot of good people in your lives who are saying to you, just be quiet. It's not worth it. What do you say to them?
Our compassion doesn't have boundaries or borders. We just love kids.
Why do you feel this urge to speak?
Miss Rachel's a YouTuber for children, okay? Kids love her. And she did the most unimaginable crime of all, which is recognize the humanity of Palestinian children that are being ruthlessly slaughtered by the state doing a genocide. Yeah. HasanAbi heads in the chat that have kids already know who Miss Rachel is, I suspect. The debating question, are Palestinian children worth caring about? This article is truly depraved. This is, I believe, from the New York Times. What an insane framing. Why tot celebrity Miss Rachel waded into the Gaza debate. Facing criticism, Rachel Accurso defends making the plight of children in Gaza a primary focus on her social media feeds. The idea that, like, you can frame the conversation like this with an inherently antagonistic framing is so insane. And I think this is the type of shit that actually makes people check out. Okay? This is the type of shit that makes people go, what? Miss Rachel doubles down support for children in Gaza? The f*** do you mean? Like, this is not a double down moment. You should be, you shouldn't be antagonistic to her. You shouldn't be acting like what she's doing is controversial. The real newsworthy argument here is why this would be seen as controversial to begin with. Accurso's activism has divided Jewish parents distraught by the relative dearth of posts about Israeli children with whom many Jews worldwide feel a powerful connection. Miss Rachel seems to be someone who's really, really good-hearted. But in the context of everything that's going on, she says, I care about all children. But really, she's talking about the children of Gaza. Stacey Hackner, a teacher at London Cheddar, a school of Jewish instruction, said in an interview, that has left a lot of Jewish parents feeling quite isolated. Me. Why not me? Accurso's unique position opens her up to a felt sense of connection or even parasociality to other parents, said Brooke Aaron Duffy, a professor of communications at Cornell University who studies the intersection of labor and new technologies. If you look at the images, Professor Duffy added, referring to Accurso's posts of children in Gaza, it is showcasing the young children who are experiencing these vulnerabilities. It's not unabashedly political, but within such a polarized climate, everyone is up for scrutiny and critique, especially if you have that level of audience engagement. If you talk about the children that are being genocided, in the process of those children being dead, then it makes me feel bad. It makes me f***ing feel bad. It's genuinely so up that Miss Rachel is literally just a person that sees all people equally and is nice to all kids, and she's being smeared this way. Like, look at how wonderful this interaction is with a 3-year-old double amputee from Gaza. I met Rahaf from Gaza. She has the best laugh. She falls a lot, but she's ready to get right back up again and ready to play. Insane. Chicago Jewish Alliance, who also was one of the organizations that protested and criticized the University of Chicago for hosting me, had this to say about Miss Rachel, just so you understand, like, what Jewish advocacy groups are actually invested in and what their mania looks like, okay? Because when you think about it, you're like, oh, Chicago Jewish Alliance, like, they're a Jewish advocacy group. They're probably normal people who care about anti-Semitism. That is the way that they are. That is the way that they are designed. Okay? But that's not what their goals are. Their goals are to vilify pro-Palestinian advocates or even people who see the humanity of Palestinians. And no matter how perfect of a victim someone might be, a child that is a double amputee, that is insane. A child in Gaza receives a prosthetic doll. Ms. Rachel shares it with the world. The message, look at what the war has done to children. But here's what she didn't say, that Hamas started this war. They hide behind children so they can post videos like this, that Israeli children were the first to be burned and kidnapped. She didn't mention Kfir Bibas, 10 months old, red hair, or his brother Ariel, age 4, or the 5-year-old girl shot point blank while hiding under her bed, or the Israeli kids, Jewish, Arab, and Christian, who live with air raid drills instead of recess. She ends the video saying she'll keep caring for all children. All children? Then where were your tears for the babies dragged across the border, for the toddlers mutilated in front of their parents, for the kids growing up in bomb shelters because Hamas wants it that way? Because here's the truth. In Israel, children aren't just Jewish. They're Muslim, Christian, Druze, Ethiopian, Filipino. Their families pray in Hebrew and Arabic and Amharic. And they are being targeted not in spite of that, but because of it. So yes, we grieve Rahaf, but grieve without context is propaganda. This is just heartbreak. It's strategy. Hamas wants this imagery. It builds it. And when influencers amplify only half of the story, they play right into it. If you care about children, start with the Bibas boys. Start with October 7. October 7. October 7. October 7. Start with the truth. Freaks, bro. Freaks. Somewhere along the way, Zionist groups decided this is the way to talk about it, like reframing everything within the context of like Jewish grief, and recentering the conversation around how American Jews feel and what Israelis feel in general. And that's not the case. Like, many American Jews also look at what's going on in Gaza and go, I'm going to either shut the fuck up about this or I'm going to speak out about this. The average person is going to look at the imagery from Miss Rachel and see what that organization is saying and go, you are insane. You are a psychopathic person. You are a sociopath. Who the thinks like this? You're an evil monster. That's it. That's it. And it's crazy. Like, why do you present yourself as an evil monster? I do not understand. And the only way, and I'm going to tie this back to slop tubers again, the only reason why you would find yourself presenting this this monstrous perspective as though it's something that will bring people to your side. Okay, the only reason why you think this is because you are so echo chambered that you have not even began to try and understand the perspective of others. Someone who is even 5% not on your side is immediately branded as an enemy. That's it. That's it. Find yourself in this unique predicament where, like, the average person looks at what you're saying and goes, oh my God, you're a fucking psycho. You are a fucking psycho. Because all of these conversations are happening within the backdrop of a live streamed Holocaust of mostly children. It's so insane. Ms. Rachel for Little says, it's not a crime to say the children of Gaza should have food and medical care. It's a crime to keep it from them. From playtime to propaganda, Ms. Rachel defends her anti-Israel pose. Yeah. I mean, fuck Israel. Like, what do you mean? Israel can suck my dick. Like, what the fuck? You can say this about every country. You can say this about America. You can say this about Saudi Arabia. You can say this about Iran. You say this about China. Say this about Russia. Fuck it. You can say it about Ukraine, but God forbid you say it about fucking Israel doing a goddamn genocide. Oh my God. You are positioning Israel as being anti-children when someone comes out and says they're pro-children, and you immediately go, look, when someone comes out and says, I'm pro-children, I think children should survive, and you immediately go, wow, well, this person sure seems to be anti-Israel. Well, now you've revealed that Israel is anti-children. You're doing that. What the fuck? If you go after people that are humanizing Palestinian children, like I am a much better target for criticism by Zionist groups, because I do talk about the context and the nuance and the history of why militant resistance against unjustifiable things such as genocide and apartheid exist. Okay, but when you're coming after someone who's like, I'm pro all children surviving, you basically present yourself as a fucking villain, dude. Like a comic book villain, not even like a expertly crafted villain. Like if someone were to talk like this in a fucking comic book, you'd be like, well, this is not a very well-written villain at all. Like, what the fuck? No one is this black and white. What the hell? And so many of these so many of these groups, so many of the Zionist advocacy groups that masquerade as like Jewish advocacy groups have whipped themselves up into a fucking frenzy that they will never understand why Israel is a fucking pariah state. And they will never understand why the normal average person that hears them speak like this, look at them and go, dude, you are a fucking villain. You are a psycho. You have primed yourself into believing that every single fucking Palestinian is an enemy, is a parasite that needs to be excised forcibly off this planet. It's the same thing as Nazi Germany. That's it. And that's why I say Israel is a Nazi Germany style country, and its actions resemble the Holocaust, and its supporters are fucking Nazis too. That's it. It's crazy.
Speak out for Sudanese kids and Haitian kids, and right now, obviously, the kids who are suffering most in the world, the Gazan kids.
Silence wasn't a choice for me. Her mom grabs her phone and has her little boys on FaceTime, and her boys are adorable. I think they're around age 7 and 9, and they're in Gaza, and here I am, like, thinking, like, trying to be sweet and talk to her boys in, like, the Miss Rachel voice, but I'm also like, what if my son was over there and my husband, and then I'm here with my little girl losing her legs? And then I'm thinking about the boys, and I was asking if there's any way they can come here, and this wonderful woman was saying, because I was asking kind of her to, she was translating, and I said, is there any way for them to come here? And she was saying no. And she was saying they don't eat anymore on FaceTime with them. Sorry.
No, it's a horrific situation.
And
yeah, look at this dangerous Hamas propaganda.
And then the translator, I remembered she had said, like, thank you for seeing our children as human, when I had spoke out before. And so I want those little boys to have everything my little boy has. And their mom's a teacher like me. She's a math teacher.
Wow.
Like, if your first response to someone recognizing the humanity of Palestinian children is that you perceive her as a threat, you are a threat to humanity. Okay? You are a fucking villain. You are a bloodthirsty monster where you go, oh my God, I can't believe she cares about Palestinian children. Why doesn't she see the world from my lens? Why doesn't she see the world in the way that I do? And why doesn't she recognize that these little children are actually little parasites that are going to grow up to be fucking Hamas? It's all lives matter. It's literally an all lives matter argument. But in the backdrop of this is not like systematic discrimination, but something that most American black people will also recognize as infinitely worse than what is happening to contemporary black voices in the United States of America. A fucking genocide. Okay? You are literally, all lives mattering, a fucking Holocaust. You're a psycho. Holy shit. Do you now understand why I have no fucking time for idiots that will be like, well, what about my fucking feelings, dude? What about my feelings in this? Oh, you're just using the Holocaust of children that you advocate for every single fucking day, that you advocate against every single fucking day as a way to shield yourself from criticism. It's like, no, dude, I'm criticizing you. I'm criticizing what your approach is. Okay? You're a fucking psycho. You're a cowardly fucking psychopath. Okay?